Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to our first online class. Welcome to reading class. How is everybody doing today? I hope that you're as excited as me to start this new online journey. I can't wait to see how much we can learn together. So before we get started, I want to make sure that you know the materials we need for class and where to go to Teams to log in all of your answers, submit them so that I can see them and I can give you a grade and I can give you feedback. So let's start with the materials needed for today's lesson. So let's minimize me. So today you're going to need the packet that says March 30th through April 4. You are going to need a pencil or a pen. You're going to need a highlighter, and a red pen is optional. So if you don't have that, don't worry about it as long as you have a pencil or a pen. I'm going to start by writing my name, date, and goal. So I've already done that. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. Name, date, and goal. Don't forget, today is the 30th. Okay, now that you're finished, I'm going to show you how to log on to Teams and how to navigate through it. So if you need to pause the video so that you can open up your Teams, go ahead and do that now so that you can follow along. So let's go to Teams. So on here, you're going to be going where it says ELA 4th grade because we are in reading class. So on post is everything that I have posted, boys and girls. So everything that you need to know is here. However, when you click on Files, under Files and click on Class Materials, this is where you're going to find all the anchor charts that we have in class and that you will need. You might need it during one lesson, you might need it during another lesson. So they're all here. This is the exact same anchor chart that I have in class. So I'm going to close that up. So remember, ELA 4th grade, Files, Class Materials, and you will find all of your anchor charts. Now, where do I turn in my assignments? So there's actually a tab that says Assignments. Go ahead and click on that. Once you click on that, for today, you're going to have something due. So it's going to be your TDQs that we always do in class, along with your exit ticket. Once you click on this, I will be able to see who has turned in their assignment. So remember, ELA, Assignments, and you click here. So it will be due today at 11:59 p.m. Let's go back to our regular class. So we're here. I'm going to flip the page. And I just wanted to explain a little bit about this. So this is your reading log. Here you're going to log in anything that you've read, either a novel, a book, a chapter book, or if you don't have a book and you're going through Maya, that's okay. Log it on here, the title, how many pages you've read, also a question you might have, a prediction, or you can also write your inference here. Let's flip the page. Okay, so I do challenge you to make a schedule so that you know when you need to log on to your classes, when everything is due. That way you can keep track and it doesn't come so much of a burden and then you have to turn in everything at once. So let's start. Okay, so let's start by doing a notice and wonder chart. So you can do this on this page, or if you have a notebook at home that you want to use, that's okay. You can do it here, you can do it here. I just want to make sure that you have everything accessible to you, so that you're not looking for paper or anything. So yes, you can do your notice and wonder chart in the upper right hand corner. And remember, when we notice, we see. When we wonder, we think of questions, whatever it might be. So we are starting module 4, lesson 1. So this is going to be the text that we are going to be reading. So before I start, let's go read our objective. So, Module 4, Lesson 1. Students will be able to find the meaning of a word using context clues. Your turn and go. Good. Module 4 questions, remember, our essential question is the question that we answer at the end of the module. We answer it with an essay, and that essential question is, what can we learn from myths and stories? Boys and girls, what are myths? So if you said that myths are fiction, you are correct. They are stories. Yes, it's a myth, it's a fiction. Focusing question. What are myths and why do people create them? So we will be answering that question by the end of lesson 7. So what are myths and why do people create them? So myths are stories that are passed along generations. It's a tale of how something came to be or why something is the way that it is. Our content framing question that we will be answering today is wonder. What do I notice and wonder about Greek myths? So today we are going to be focusing on context clues. What are we going to do? Find the meaning of an unknown word using context clues to determine the meaning. How will we be doing that? Is we're going to write the unknown word. We're going to read the sentence before, during, and after. We're going to look for key phrases like synonyms, antonyms, or examples. Remember, a synonym is the what? It's a word that means the same thing, good. An antonym is the opposite, good. Remember to freeze, post, and focus. It's okay to pause the video, it's okay to rewind, it's okay to take a brain break, to take a restroom break. Just pause it, come back when you need to. So let's go back to our text. So, gifts from the gods. That is the title of our selection. And the subtitle is Ancient Words and Wisdom from Greek and Roman Mythology. So I'm going to give you time to pause the video and give me 2 notice, 2 wonder from the cover. So what are you going to do? You're going to write down 2 notice, 2 wonder from the cover. Good job. Okay, now I want to go to start and let's open our book. Did we say who the author was? No. So the author was Lisa Lung Larson, and it was illustrated by Gareth Hintz. What does it mean by illustrated? That's the person who did the illustrations, right? Good. Now let's go to the back. Every word has its own story to tell. Okay, so it's telling us that a word has a story to tell. Okay. And most fascinating words come from the names of gods and goddesses, heroes and humans in Greek and Roman mythology. So I know that we're going to be learning some very interesting words. Gifts from the gods, ancient words and wisdom from Greek and Roman mythology. Okay, let's start with our first page. Humans have always loved telling stories, and to tell them we use words. Oh, look, the author made a connection to the subtitle. What is this called? Gods, goddesses, heroes, and humans in Greek and Roman mythology. The stories of their adventures so capture people's imagination that they have been told and retold for thousands of years, and their names have survived as words we use every day. Not only do these tales illuminate and explain words, but they also help us understand our own world more deeply. So how many of you know some names of Greek or Roman gods or goddesses? If you do, I know some of you have already shared that with me. Aiden, shout out to you because I know you said you love Greek mythology. So yay, we're going to learn more about it. Let's go to the page. So look at this page. This is a what? It's a text box. So inside of it is going to give us information or facts about this selection. So if we have information that is true, what is the genre of this selection? Is it literary or is it informational? It's informational, yes. It's going to give us the ancient words and wisdom from Greek and Roman mythology. So it's going to explain to us what we need to know for Greek and Roman mythology. So let's start. Achilles' heel. How many of you have heard of Achilles' heel? So let's start. It's a seemingly small but actually crucial weakness. Like all those classical, oh, Tofu's here. Give me a second. Like all those classical heroes down through the ages, Blue Avenger is not invulnerable. Like them, he has a weakness. Superman feared kryptonite. Achilles had his heel. For Blue Avenger, it's lemon meringue pie. Norma Howie, Blue Avenger, cracks the code. What word keeps getting repeated here, boys and girls? Weakness. So we can make a connection that Achilles' heel is what? It's a weakness. Yes, of course. So if I say my Achilles' heel is Oreo cookies because they're vegan, I cannot contain myself around them. Every time I get a new packet, I just have to have them all for myself and I do not share. So what did I just say? That my weakness was Oreo cookies. Good job. So let's flip it over. I know some of y'all's Achilles heel is hot Cheetos. I see you after school eating those hot Cheetos. Anyways, so let's turn the page. And so on here, the author included two illustrations. They're trying to show me, yes. Let's start reading. When Achilles was born, his mother wrapped her arms around her little son and decided she didn't ever want him to die. And because she was no ordinary mortal, but a nymph, she knew how to fulfill her wish. So boys and girls, Achilles' mom was a what? She was a nymph. So today's lesson is all about context clues. So we need to read the sentence before, during, and after to find out the unknown word. She carried baby Achilles all the way to the river Styx, which separates the land of the living from the land of the dead. There she immersed him into its sacred water, grasping his heel so tightly that it couldn't get wet. So what is she doing to baby Achilles? She's submerging him, into the water. Now look what it says. It says Achilles' mother was no ordinary mortal. What does it mean by mortal? So she was a human, but she's not ordinary. So that means, is she special or not special? That means she's special, right? So if she's not an ordinary human, but a nymph, what does that mean? She might not be human, right? Yes. So based on my context clues, she's not an ordinary human. Let's keep reading. As he grew, Achilles excelled beyond all ordinary humans. He ran faster than a horse, fought tirelessly for hours, and wielded a sword with such skill and ferocity that in battle he drove entire armies away all by himself. No arrows, sword, or axe could hurt him as long as his heel remained untouched. So look what it says. Achilles was not ordinary. He ran faster than a horse. Boys and girls, is that true? Can a person run faster than a horse? No, right? That's not true. What type of language is that? It's figurative language. It's not true. So if he ran faster than a horse, fought tirelessly for hours, and wielded a sword with such a skill and ferocity, I want you to notice what the author did down here. So the author included an illustration. Why did the author include this illustration? What is she trying to tell us? Yeah, she's trying to show that Achilles could what? Fight several soldiers by himself. Yeah, that's what made him extraordinary. Now look at here. It says, as long as his heel remained untouched. Do they mean literally his heel remained untouched, or they mean figuratively? They mean literally, right? Look how he's pointing his toes. Literally, if his heel was untouched, he was undefeated. That's what makes him so extraordinary. But when the Battle of Troy broke out and Achilles went to fight, the very thing his mother had tried to prevent happened. During the siege on the city, one fateful arrow pierced his heel, his only mortal part, killing him. Wow, what just happened? That one thing that made him extraordinary, what happened to it? An arrow struck him and killed him. So the cause was that an arrow struck him. What was the effect of that? Was that it killed him. Good. I'm going to give you time to pause the video. I need you to go back to your notice and wonder. So you already have two. I need you to add one more notice, one more wonder. So what are you going to do? You're going to pause the video. You're going to go add one notice, one wonder from page 4. So pause it now. Okay, let's continue reading. Still, Achilles became revered as one of the greatest of Greek heroes, for without him the Greeks would have never defeated the Trojans. He lived in our language also. We call a person's weakness his or her Achilles heel, especially if that person seems otherwise invincible. So boys and girls, what is this called when the words are like this? They're italics, right? So what is the author trying to do here? Remember? She's trying to emphasize or make a point that Achilles' heel was what? What do we say that meant? It's a person's weakness, right? So that one thing that made him so extraordinary actually killed him. So we're going to go back to our notice and wonder, and you're going to add one more. By now you should have 3 notice, 3 wonder. Now you're going to pause the video on page 5. You're going to add 1 notice, 1 wonder. So what are you going to do? You're going to pause the video. You're going to add 1 notice, 1 wonder from page 5. Pause the video now. Okay, let's continue. Gods and mortals, let me zoom in. Gods and mortals often spent time with one another and even had children together. Like Achilles, these children sometimes grew up to become strong and courageous that they seemed like gods. To distinguish them from ordinary humans, the Greeks called these superhumans heroes, meaning defenders and protectors. We use the word in much the same way today. So boys and girls, what is this called? What print feature is this? It's bold print, good job. So heroes means what? Look at the comma. That means the author gave you the what? The meaning of heroes. So what does it mean? It literally says meaning defenders and protectors. Achilles' mother was a kind of an immortal called a nymph. Oh, there it is again. It's a bold print and it has a comma, which means what? They're going to tell us what a nymph is, which is a nature goddess. They were lovely maidens who presided over places in nature. They were freshwater nymphs and sea nymphs and mountain nymphs and tree nymphs. All loved to play, bathe, sing, and dance. They also stayed young forever. Immature insects are called nymphs after these nature goddesses. So can someone always stay young? No, right? That's not true. So this is going to be your last notice and wonder. So what are you going to do? You're going to add your last notice and wonder from page 6. You can pause the video now. Okay, boys and girls, let's move on to our next text. So we are not finished with this. We will come back to it later. For now, I'm going to put it to the side and I'm going to show you my screen of our next book. So follow along. Our next book is called Understanding Greek Myths. So look at the cover. What type of text do you think this is? Just by looking at the photographs. It is an informational text. Good job. So let's flip the pages. Boys and girls, what kind of graphic feature is this? What is this called? It's a table of contents. Good. What does a table of contents tell us? It tells us where to go depending on the subject. So if I wanted to know all about daily life, what page would I go to? 24. Good job. How about if I wanted to know about the legacy of Greek legacy? What page would I go to? Good. I would go to page 40. So let's flip the page. We are going to be in this page, page 4 and page 5. What you're going to do is you're going to pause the video. You are going to get 1 minute to add to your notice, add to your wonder. So what do you notice? What do you wonder? You are going to read the story. So let me zoom a little bit out. So you're going to read this and you're going to add to your notice and wonder. So what are you going to do? You're going to read the section and you're going to add it to your notice and wonder. So pause the video now. Okay, boys and girls, so what are some things that you read? So let's start sharing. So some of the things that you might have read is that myths are stories. Yes, and they are. They have heroes in them. Yes, they do. They also have gods and goddesses. And most importantly, they are passed down from they're passed down from one family to another over generation. That's what makes it a myth, is that it's passed down. I'm going to zoom up so that you can press pause again and that you can read the caption of the photograph, of the illustration and of the statue. So press pause now so that you can read those. Okay, boys and girls, so the last thing that you're going to do for today's lesson is we're going to come back to our text-dependent questions. And you are going to answer 4 questions. Do you have to write the question? No. However, you do have to go back to my video so that you can find page 2. Let me tell you where page 2 is at. So let's go back here. So once I open the book, page 2. So if you need to pause the video, pause it now. Page 3. Page 4. And page 5. This is where you're going to be answering your text-dependent questions. So you're going to have to go to page 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can pause the video now so that you can write your answers. Remember, boys and girls, you can write your answers on the packet that was given out to you by me. So you can write in this section. You can write number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and you can also label it TDQs. And then, of course, you know that you have an exit ticket, so you can put here exit ticket and number 1. Okay, so TDQs 1 through 4, exit ticket number 1. So now let me show you your exit ticket. So your exit ticket for this lesson is, which words help the reader understand the meaning of the word immersed? So for this one, you will have to go to page 2 to find the answer. Okay, boys and girls, and lastly, before we finish today's lesson, lesson 1 of module 4, I want you to go to your packet, flip it over, and on here I wrote the date. So today is the 30th. You will be doing this one independent. I told you which one will be guided. So this one will be tomorrow's lesson, but you still can work on this. Once you flip it over, this one is what? If it has a circle, it's a what? Circle is guided. So yes, this one will also be guided. And this one is part of your exit ticket. You are not turning this one in today. You will be turning this in tomorrow. So boys and girls, so do you turn this one in today? No, not today. What are the only things that you are turning in for March 30th, lesson 1? TDQs, and exit ticket. That is it. Do you write the question? No. All you have to do is go back to the text, write down your answers, and then go back to Teams, remember Teams, and you submit it here. Remember, ELA, assignments, TDQ, and exit ticket here. It will be due today at 11:59 p.m. Boys and girls, that's the end of our lesson. I'm so happy to finish our first lesson. I know that it's going to be a journey for most of us. Reach out to me with questions. Send me a message through Dojo. Send me a text through Remind. Or send me a text through Teams. I am available. I'm here to help you. We're learning together. And I hope to see you guys very soon.